Hey guys, it's me Ahmed from PPG. I just got back from the NAIC in Pokemon with a top 16 finish. I got 12th place out of over 1,500 people. I'm here today to try to show you the deck that I played with. So I played with Buzzwole. Buzzwole is definitely still the best deck in format, even though it didn't win the event. It's definitely just super strong. So it didn't win the event, but this is still the best list that performed at NAIC. I got the top placement with Buzzwole out of all the Buzzwole players at the NAIC, which there were, maybe hundreds. So anyway, I'll go into the list now. So this list is kind of standard, but it's got a little bit of cuteness to it. What I want to start with is the Baby Buzz. This Baby Buzz is probably the best card that came out in Forbidden Light. It's just so strong. Sledgehammer does so much damage, when the conditions are right for it. Swing Around does so much damage. You have so many cards to buff Buzzwole with. It's insane. It's a one prize attacker, is awkward 130 HP. It's just a monster. So I mean that's why we play 3 of them. You want to start them. You want to see them. You want to force your opponent to go to 4 prizes by playing 3 of them. So you make them attack 2. And then you hit them with that strong Sledgehammer to just start taking over the game. And then, so for the rest of the deck, we have 2 Buzzwole. A lot of people are cutting down to 1 Buzzwole GX and 4 of these Buzzwole, which I think is absolutely silly. This Buzzwole, is what makes Buzzwole. The Jet Punch, the 30 bench damage, it's very important. Knuckle Impact, starting at 60, 160. When you add all the modifiers that come with it, like de-ancing and strong energy and stuff, Knuckle Impact knocks out everything. You can hit whatever you need to with Knuckle Impact. Swing Around doesn't do all the damage. It's really good, but it's not good. It's not as good as Knuckle Impact is. So we have 2 Buzzwole because you want to have 2 Buzzwole on the board to close out games with. When your opponent knocks out 1 Buzzwole, you still have another Buzzwole to start swinging with. And then the next card I want to talk about is Lycanroc. I've been playing Lycanroc since Nationals last year when Guardians Rising came out. Lycanroc's Bloodthirsty Eye ability is just too strong. It's like playing 2 supporters a turn. Pulling up whatever you need to from your opponent, it's just pretty insane. And then Dangerous Rogue is the best attack in the game. It's just overpowering. It so much damage. It's so easy to get to with just 2 attachments. It's Lycanroc is too good. A lot of players were cutting down to like 2-1 or 1-1 Lycanroc, and I think that's a misplay. You definitely want 2 free gust effects in the deck so that you can access it when you need to. Next, I want to talk about the support Pokemon. So Regirock and Deancey. Regiroc's really good because he gives you +10. Plus 10 becomes relevant a lot, so when you have both Regirock and Deancey active, and you use like Sledgehammer or Jet Punch, you can do 60 damage for a base energy, and 60 is usually more than enough to knock out like, to knock out like Remoraid's and other things with 60 HP, or like a Zoro with a weakness policy, which I had to do a couple times. And then obviously Deancey, you can only play 1 of Deancey, or else I would play 2 of Deancey, but the +20 is just great math. It just puts up so much damage. It builds so much pressure. If you just have a Buzzwole with a single energy, with a strong energy or something in a choice band, strong energy, choice band, Deancey, Regirock, that's already at like 110 damage. It's kind of insane. The next is our consistency cards, Remoraid and Octillery and Tapu Lele. I cut down to a 1-1 Octillery because I felt like my opponents kept targeting it down anyway, and I would have to find it with Super Rod. There's also a lot of ability shutdown that's going on between all the Garb and the Greninja and stuff. So I didn't feel like more than 1-1 was really necessary. So I liked it. Abyssal Hand is definitely something that just wins you games. If you just have Abyssal Hand and energy on the board, you can't really lose the game. The next important card is Tapu Lele. You always want to play at least one of these because you want to be able to get supporters whenever you need to. This deck plays a lot of supporters, but it also plays a lot of cards that aren't supporters. So if you need something for sure, you need to Wonder Tag for it. Speaking of supporters, I want to go to my supporter line. So for the draw supporters, I did 4 Sycamore, 3 N, 2 Cynthia. And the reason why I did 3 N instead of 3 Cynthia is because there's a lot of decks that, and a lot of mirror matches that are decided just by N. So if you knock out their artillery and you end them to something low, and then you pull out something with Lycan Rock, I mean, it just kind of wins you the game because they just don't have the ability to come back from that. 4 Sycamore is always powerful. Sycamore is the best draw support in the game. Just thins out your deck and lets you draw 7 at the same time. And then instead of 4N, which is usually normal, I like to play 3N and then 2 Cynthia. Cynthia is really good for, you know, late game when you're winning. You don't want to end yourself to 1 or 2 to search for something if you're already winning. You want a Cynthia. So Cynthia is definitely great for that. Next is Guzma, or if your opponent's dead drawing and you want to shuffle draw. That's what Cynthia is for. So I only played 3 Guzma. A lot of people went to 4 Guzma, but so when you play auxiliary, you need a lot more things. You need a lot more items in your hand than you need anything else. Because items you can drop, you can play them. But supporters and stadiums, you can't always play them. So you really want to limit how many supporters you have. We already have 2 Lycan Rock. So we already had enough gust effects, I felt. So 3 Guzma was good enough. So I went with 3 Floatstone, 3 Guzma, instead of having 4 Guzma, 2 Floatstone, which is what the normal setting was. So you know, obviously 4 Ultra Ball. I did, in this tournament, I did a 3-3 split of Max Elixir and B-String, which is different from my Madison list where I did 4-2. I just felt I didn't get B-String often enough. I wanted to get at least 2 B-Strings off, so I played 3 so I can at least find them. So the 3-3 B-String Max Elixir was great. Obviously we always play, and then obviously we always play 4 Ultra Ball because 4 Ultra Ball is just a basic consistency card. Now the next thing that I want to talk about was my spiciest tech of the tournament, which is Field Blower. You know, in any other deck, it's not a spicy tech. Everybody keeps saying, oh, you don't play Field Blower on Buzz Rock, and I asked, why not? Field Blower lets you get rid of a stadium. It lets you get rid of tools. So, like, I was playing against Buzzgarb, which, you know, they use Fury Belt. So when you blow the Fury Belt off a Buzzwole with over 200 damage on it, it instantly knocks them out. And the whole premise of Buzzwole is that they make you try to knock out this massive 230 HP Pokemon, and then they swing with their B-Strings. Well, so if you're playing Field Blower, you do the 200 damage, and then you don't knock them out. And then you Field Blower the tool off, which does knock them out, so then you take 2 prizes, and then you can Lycan Rock something up and Dangerous Rogue it, and take another 2 prizes, which allows them to not get B-String off. And it's just so powerful, and it happens, what, like 3 or 4 times when I played through the tournament, because I played 3 or 4 Buzzgarb. It was just great. So now, next is the tools. 3 Floatstone. I feel like 3 Floatstone is necessary, especially since we play a bunch of heavy Pokemon like Lycan Rock and Octillery and Deancey. You just need 3 Floatstone. 3 Choice Band is definitely ideal too. Honestly, sometimes I feel like 4 Floatstone, 2 Choice Band is better because Choice Band isn't always useful. Because this is more of a non-GX, non-EX meta. And, you know, obviously Choice Band doesn't hit those. And then I only played 2 Brooklet Hill because I expected to play a lot of mirrors. So you don't ever lose your Brooklet Hill. So every extra copy of Brooklet Hill that you find becomes a dead card. And that was actually pretty useful because I played against several mirrors and against Volcanion as well. And then obviously Super Rod just to get back your energies and things that you may have discarded early with Ultra Ball or whatever you needed to, or if you need to like hit a late game elixir or something. That's always great. And now for my energy count, which is the last part of the deck, it's pretty standard. It's just 9, 4, 1. So I played 14 total energies. You want to play at least 8 of the fighting energy. I think 9 is ideal, so that you hit your max elixirs very often, and the max elixirs don't become dead cards. and then you want to have 5 special energies. Strong energy is what makes this deck. You know, it's being able to do massive amounts of damage and put on massive amounts of pressure for 1 energy. So strong energy is just kind of the best card in the deck. And then beast energy, you can only play 1 of, but you know, it's definitely an inclusion. In Madison, I played 1 beast energy and 3 strong energy because I thought that just having 4 special was enough, because it's what I always did. But definitely this is the better count. Anyway, just overall, this is the list. I just want to speak really quickly about the matchups. Like I said, I played a bunch of mirrors, which kind of cannibalized all the good mirrors. I played good players like Michael Pramawat and Jay Lesage, and and Alex Hill. So I mean, I played against a bunch of good Buzzwole players, and I managed to beat them. Actually, I lost to Alex Hill, but still managed to put up a good fight. What else? But really, I think Buzzwole is still the best deck. If Worlds were tomorrow, I would take this exact 60 cards to World Championship, and I would think that I would do probably better than I did at this tournament. The only thing I really lost to, so I misplayed round 13, and I just put down a special energy when my opponent had an enhanced hammer instead of basic energy, and I had the game if I just did it otherwise. Which is kind of unfortunate, it put me down, but you know, we kept 12th place is still a really good shot. And then the other loss was Alex Hill with Buzzgarb. I was trying to play too cute with the field blower, and that, you know, I got caught with that. And then the final thing I played against was the Zorar Garbodor deck, and I actually did pretty well against it, but he just ended me to nothing and put up Garbotox, and I couldn't find my single copy of Field Blower. So maybe more Field Blower. Maybe Field Blower is more of an MVP than we think. Maybe we should play, you know, like 3 copies and 0 Berkeley Hills or something. I don't know. Anyway, so this is my deck. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed playing it. And I hope you guys try this deck out. It's really strong. It's probably still the strongest deck in the format, even with so much Psychic Pokemon. It just can't lose. I would like to make a shout out towards my sponsors. They made this all possible. You know, PPG and Ultra Pro. The Ultra Pro sleeves that I'm using, the Eclipses, they're really nice. You can't, you know, they're still matte, so they're not giving off too much reflection, even though my kitchen's super bright. They're just perfect sleeves, and I'm glad to be sponsored by such a great company. And PPG, you know, for providing the cards and providing such a great team and such good energy to work with. So anyway, it was nice. Have a good one.